1, 2, 3, come on.
Welcome to Kiss My Crafts. I have something different. As you can see, we're gonna do our nails. So I wanted to show how I do the dip, which is something new that I'm using, and some people have expressed an interest in knowing how to do it. You're ready, this is for you. And Whitney, this is to show you that if I can do it, you can do it too. So let me give you a little brief synopsis of my interest in this. I never do my nails. I do my nails, I go to a salon when I go on vacation, and they do my nails. Usually they do a gel, and then when it's time to take it off, my nails would be so damaged and weak that I don't like this. I just leave my nails alone. I don't have the patience to wait for nail polish to dry as well. I don't have the patience to sit in a salon waiting to be taken care of while they work on my nails, waiting for it to dry, and so on and so forth. So with the gel nails, it is quicker because they put your hands under UV light, but the damage to my nails was ridiculous. I would have to wait for them to grow out so they could look nice again. And about a month ago, I started getting interested in these starter kits, the gel and the powder. First I started with the gel, love it, and then I found this starter kit with the dip powder that got me interested, which is this one, and this has everything you need except for the tools to do your dip powder nails at home. Okay, so I've already taken the liquids out. It comes with 6 powders and the 4 liquids that you need. And the 4 liquids, your base, your activator, your top coat, and this is brush saver. So what this is for is when your brushes from the other liquids get dirty from the powder, before you stick it back into its original container, you put it in here, shake it up, it gets clean. This way you don't contaminate your liquids. Okay, what else do you need? You need a brush to brush off any powder from filing, from buffing, from whatever. You need a file, and you need a buffing block or a buffer, and of course your dip powder color. Another thing you might need is these toothpicks, and I'll show you why. I watched a lot of videos and I learned a lot of tips, a lot of tricks. Get a paper towel so you can clean your brush off or anything that you might get on your skin. And let's start. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is, of course, my nails are prepped. Well, they're not totally prepped, but they've been cleaned, and I didn't do my cuticles because I just did them last weekend, but I see some stuff sticking out. But let's say you didn't do your manicure. You gotta use a tool to push your cuticles back, get rid of any excess dead skin around your cuticles, and then before you start doing the dip, buff the shine off your nails, and this helps to adhere the dip to your nail. Okay, so you're gonna buff it nice and lightly, not too much, just enough to get the shine off of them. I got these from Amazon. I'll link everything that I use down below. Now the brand of dip powder that I'm using, it's called GHdip. And this was one of the first, well, one of 2 that I've used. This other kit that I got, which also was a starter kit and came with the liquids and it came with 6 powders, I tried and I did not like it. the manicure came out clumpy. It was hard to file down and get smooth. I did not like it, and I think it had to do with the liquids. Once they're on your finger, they kind of run, and when you dip your finger, it created lumps. I just did not like it. I did not experience this with the GHdip. So I bought a second set, but this comes with 12 powders, and this is all glitter, and the colors are freaking gorgeous. I tried it already. I did a whole manicure. I used 10 of the colors, one color on each finger, and I'll insert pictures of that manicure here. So we're going to use one of the colors that I hadn't tried, which is this pretty pink glitter. Okay, and what the toothpicks are for, one of the uses for the toothpick. Now, if you buy dip powders, they should be sealed. This hasn't been opened, so it's still sealed. So what you want to do is take the toothpick and mix up the powder a little bit. Okay. And there's another use for the toothpick, which I'll show you later. Let's close this up so I don't have accidents. After you buff the shine off your nails, you want to dehydrate your fingers, your nail bed. And what that means is either you get a prep dehydrator like I did, or you use plain old alcohol and a pad and clean your nails. That's going to get rid of any dust that any dust or oils that your nails might have that may make your manicure last less. So this is a real quick and easy step. You don't have to be all, because it's going to dry real fast. It's not something, I guess what is in there is alcohol. I could have easily just used alcohol, but I always like to get everything that I need for whatever it is I'm doing. I have to get it all. Now I'm only going to do one hand. I don't know why I prepped this hand. This is my dominant hand, so I'm going to manicure this hand on camera, and then I'll do the other hand on my own. Okay, so we want to grab your base. The base dries fast, so we're going to dip the finger after we do the base. You don't have to do it like super fast, because we don't want to make a mess, and we want to dip it right. Sorry. Okay, well, you want to make sure that you put a very thin coat. Can you see what I'm doing? Wait, let me move some stuff over. Oops, I did it wrong. It's not what I was supposed to do. Okay. This is what I learned on YouTube. Your nail has most nails anyway, have a natural curve. And if you start the base, your first coat, all the way to the cuticle, it's gonna look flat. It's not gonna have that natural curve. So to create the natural curve, we're not gonna put the base, the first coat, on all the way to the cuticle. We're gonna do a little more than halfway, and make sure you get all up to the edge, because you want to make sure the whole nail is coated. Do the very tip too. So you don't want to leave the tip undone, because that can create the manicure, the dip powder, once it's hardened, to separate, and then you're gonna have to do your manicure again. You get risk of water getting in. You don't want that. Okay, so you're gonna dip your nail at about a 45-degree angle real quick, 1-2 seconds, and then you're gonna just take off the excess. See that? And what the toothpick is good for now, take it off the very edge of the nail. Okay, that's going to take about 20 seconds to dry. So we're going to continue on with the rest of the hand, just to make sure that it dries well before we dust it off, because you're going to use your brush to dust the excess powder off. So remember, don't go all the way down to the cuticle. Don't get it on your skin, and if you do, get a little paper towel or a tissue and just wipe it off. This is not like gel. Remember, you want to do thin coats. I'm gonna dip. 1, 2. Tap the excess off. Wow, this color's pretty. I went a little far, but that's okay. I really don't have to worry about the cuticle right now because we don't have the base all the way to the cuticle. So kind of clean off the sides. This is a tip I learned, I think it was Kate's Nails. Great channel for nails. I want to make sure you're seeing what I'm seeing. I mean, you're seeing what I'm doing. Let's see, okay. I'm at an uncomfortable position here because I usually have it much closer. This is kind of awkward here. Okay, so we've done the first coat. I'm going to cover up my powder, and now I'm going to dust off the excess powder. This is messy, so you want to do it on a surface and protect your surface. My white table, I wipe it down. It's no big deal. This is just glitter. But if you're doing it on an important piece of furniture, you want to protect it with some paper towels, a cover, whatever. Okay, so we've got our first coat done, and now we're going to do our second coat. And you're going to repeat the same process over again. Base, dip, base, dip, base, dip, base, dip. Now we're gonna go as close to the cuticle. Some people do it in 3 steps. They do halfway, then they get a little closer, then they go to the cuticle. I'm not doing that. So we're gonna go all the way. Now this is where you gotta clean your brush, okay? Before we start, get this closer. Let me get these out the way because I really don't need this now. I'm done with this. But we're gonna get closer to the cuticle. And make sure you get everything that you didn't get the first time, especially on the edges, like right there. I didn't get the very edge. Try not to flood the cuticle with a lot of liquid. Just do very, very thin coats. Now GHdip has a Facebook group. They have excellent customer service. After I bought my first kit, they sent me, I don't know how many. See, I didn't get it all the way. You see that right there? But I'll catch it on the 3rd because I'm gonna do a 3rd coat. Usually the last coat is a clear powder, which I do have, but I don't want to use the clear because I got glitter and I don't want it to diminish it. I feel it diminishes the glitter a little bit. That was my experience. Okay. Don't forget to, now I forgot to use the freaking toothpick. I always forget something. I'll use it with this finger. Okay, so the whole thing about the toothpick is to get all the extra out. This is pretty. And remember, use thin coats. And make sure you go all the way to the cuticle without flooding it or touching it, and all the way to the edges of the side of the nail. Make sure you get all this, because this base is pretty much the glue. Ooh, pretty. Get that edge here because I didn't get it the last 2 times. And what I like about this powder, it's very fine. So if you use your thin base coat, you're not gonna have a lot to file or buff. And that's what I like about it. So as I was saying, their customer service is fabulous. I had, I keep forgetting the freaking, when I bought the first kit, like I said, I had Amazon messages from them that I didn't even realize it. They wanted to know if everything was okay, if I had any questions, blah, blah, blah. About the second kid, they were very thrilled. I joined their Facebook group. Very nice ladies in there, very helpful. If you have questions, I really, really like the company. And this is not sponsored or anything. I just really like them. My experience so far has been great. So you get that thumb in deep, because if not, you're not gonna have the full nail coated. Okay. Now we're gonna dust this one off. Wow, that's pretty. It really doesn't need another coat, but I will do another coat because I'm gonna buff and I'm gonna file, and I don't want to take a lot of product off. We go through the whole process one more time. Now, I'm no expert and they don't come out always perfect. But with practice and in time, you become an expert with everything. Ooh, nice. I forgot the toothpick. I always forget something when I'm recording, no matter what it is. And what I like about it is there's no real drying time, you know? And you also don't have to put your hand in the UV light. Oh, I just dropped a lot of product. One of these little things can do like 30 manicures from what they're saying. Oh my goodness. I should have done a different color on one of the fingers, but next time. Some people dip it real fast, but I've been watching the GHdip videos, and they do leave it in for like 2 seconds. Another lady I watch, she dips them in twice real quick. Another lady, she dips them in with her fingers straight like that. Wow, that's pretty. Now, with most kits, the activator is used after you've done your coats. After each coat, I believe it was. But with this one, you don't have to do that. You do it after you've done all your coats. And what the activator does is ensure that it's completely dry, helps to dry it out and harden the dip. And then you can start your filing and your buffing. So we're done with 3 coats. I get the activator. Let me close this up so I don't have an accident. And you don't have to be very neat about this either. Oh, wait a second. I did it wrong. With this one, the activator comes after you file and you buff. I'm sorry, mi gente. With the other kits, normally you do your coats, you do your activator, then you do your buffing. With this one, with the GHdip, since these dry so fast, they call fast dry dip powders. Whoa! You can actually do all your filing and buffing before you put your activator on. So I'm going to file my nails and buff them and get them ready for the activator. I'll be right back. Mi gente, I have buffed, and now I'm going to get rid of any excess powder. I did forget to show you that I took the excess powder after the 3rd coat. See, I forget shit. So I'm just gonna get rid of all the powder. Now it might look like it got dull, but that's because I buffed them. And you don't have to do a lot of buffing. If the powder is very fine and you do the thin coats of the base, you don't have to do a lot of filing or a lot of buffing. Just make sure that all your edges are nice and smooth, that there's no extra powder sticking out anywhere, any hardened powder. You can just file it off. If you do have bumps, file it down as much as you can, as smooth as you can. And this is why I like to do 3 coats. They do suggest a clear coat as the last coat, but I like to use the color. So pretty much this is what I did after I filed it. And it's going to feel rough, but when you put your top coat on, that goes away. Feeling some roughness. See, I have like sort of a bump up here, and I'll just file it. Okay, so we're ready to put on our activator. And this is also one that you don't have to get all neat about, I mean, don't get it all over your fingers, but see, like I just get. Okay, we'll let that dry for about 30 seconds. And we're gonna do our top coat. Now, with the GHdip, the top coat, you do one hand, you do your first coat and immediately do the second coat. Do not let it dry because it's gonna come out matte. If that's what you like, then leave it matte. But why would you want glitter to be matte, right? So this you gotta be neat about as well. Okay, it's not like the activator or the nail prep. So once you get to the fifth finger, start right immediately. Do not let it dry. The second coat, of course, you're gonna let it dry. It takes about 2 minutes, 3 minutes to dry completely. Once you do your 5 fingers, they're gonna feel a little sticky. You want it like that. That means it's half dry. And again, you wanna put a nice thin coat. And this is where you're gonna see the shine. Well, not on this coat, on the next coat. I'm gonna go back with my second coat. I got this stuff all over the place. I don't have a clean spot on my tissue. And that's it, mi gente. You wait for it to dry for a couple of minutes and you're done. Now look at that. Doesn't that look nice? Isn't that pretty? So I will link everything down below. I need to clean my hands. After you're done and it's dry, wash your hands obviously and put cuticle oil on. I use, where's my cuticle oil? Where's my cuticle oil? Oh, here it goes. This came in a kit that I bought of gel polish. So it's from the Model Ones, Modelones. So this is it, mi gente. And it's dry. It's already dry. But you want to leave it at least 2 to 3 minutes so it could dry completely. You could put a third coat on as of the top coat if you want. Let's get up real close. Do you like it? So, mi gente, thank you for joining me. I'm going to put some of this on. I drown my cuticles because of all these chemicals. I want my nail bed and my cuticles to be healthy. So I put coconut oil every day. I put cuticle oil, even if I'm not doing anything to my nails, just to keep them healthy and nice looking. Okay, mi gente? So there you go. Ladies, are you gonna try it? Let me know. And if you have any questions, put them down on the comments. I'll try to answer them as best as I could. Like I said, I'm not an expert. I'm still learning, but I did do a lot of research on this, and I will link all the products that I use down below. Thank you for watching, and until my next video, mi gente, besos. Mwah.